it's Galfi Galfette.
In this video, I'm going to tell you about the key editor. Here I have some chords I did with the chord pads, which I've already talked about in another video. I'll put the link in the description. These MIDI events are of course customizable. To access the key editor, double-click on an event and voila. If you don't have access to the key editor when you double-click on a MIDI event, right-click on your tabs bar to choose what you want to display. You can zoom in and out with these bars, or use the keyboard shortcuts, Ctrl plus mouse wheel for horizontal zoom and Shift plus Ctrl plus mouse wheel for vertical zoom. Note that this shortcut is only available since Cubase 13. You can switch to full screen by clicking here. The key editor then opens in a separate window. Here you can see that the MIDI notes take the form of horizontal bars. Each note can of course be edited. Here, it's a D minor chord. I can edit each note independently to create an arpeggio, for example. You can also vary the velocity of each note here at the bottom. These bars symbolize velocity, i.e. note intensity. You can vary the intensity just by clicking on one of these bars and moving your mouse up or down. You can see the difference in velocity visually. A blue note will be played softly, while a red note will be played loudly. You can also choose another parameter from this list. You can add or remove notes. Here, I've got my D minor chord, and I can add another octave D with the pencil tool. I can also give it a different intensity. From this chord, I can also delete notes and move others to obtain another chord. Here, a power chord in D, so D, A, D. You can right-click on each note to access more options. You can modify the expression of the notes by activating the expression editor. If you click on the little east in the square there, double-clicking on a note opens the expression editor, allowing you to draw a sound progression with the pencil tool. In the left-hand column, here, you have access to a number of parameters. You can see that by default, some boxes are checked and others unchecked, because they depend on your keyboard mapping. Options that begin with CC, for control change, generally correspond, fader or button on your keyboard. You can also choose whether to use the scale assistant with automatic scales. When it comes to these tools, there are a lot of options, so I'll do another detailed video later. Finally, when you return to the editor, you'll notice this little arrow at the very bottom. It gives you access to two other editors, the score editor and the drum editor. I'll be making videos on these other editors in the future.
If you have questions or suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon for new tutorials.